See,
That's right.
we are going live in 3 platforms right now.
Fantastic.
Hello, everyone. Hello,
Hey.
hello here in Instagram. Hello here in TikTok, and hello here in YouTube.
Yeah.
So we are just like adjusting the setup,
Yeah.
and we are going to have a conversation today with the icon in
Oh, that
Utah.
would
No,
Yeah.
it's not. It's not.
Yeah, we got a workshop that's gonna start tomorrow, so kind of excited about it.
Yes, it's exactly what we are going to talk today, and also a little bit about the voice acting career.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to start like to share the live a little bit and wait for the people to start, but stay
Uh-huh.
with us.
Uh,
We are not going to be able to see the comments and to
No.
answer right now. So unfortunately, the questions it's going to be in the next opportunity.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go on Instagram and find your live from my account.
Okay.
Let me see if you are.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I see you here already. The
Oh,
first
good.
one.
Shaboom. There we are. Full circle.
Nice. I'm going to share. Yeah, we have a leg.
Very cool.
We have a leg, but no problems. We can do that.
It has to go to space after all.
What kind of space? The space sidereal space?
No, it's got to be a satellite that we're going to here.
Okay, yeah, that is like a travel until it's delivered to people.
That's right. That's right.
Okay, so how can I share the live? Okay, technical problems.
We'll
Jackie
get through it.
learning. Copy link. Now I got it, and I'm going to share in our group. We have a group, a WhatsApp group for everyone in the entire world to be able to chat, make friends, communicate, and get some tips about voice acting. So the
Okay.
name of the group is enterthebooth.com. You just go to one of my videos that is advertising the uh, enter the booth, no, the group, the dynasty, and then you are going to see the link in every single video that I posted. We do have a link for the WhatsApp group. So I'm trying to gather the people in this group so it's
Excellent.
easy to communicate because right now we are in 3 platforms, live in three
Yeah.
platforms. And I need to get everyone in just one. So it's going to make things easier for
Oh,
us.
yes, yes, yes.
Yeah,
Let me see if
definitely
I can
will.
even read this up at this point.
Yes, it's a little further away, so if you
It's a
can.
little far. It's like reading a pill bottle. Let me
Yeah,
see
we
here.
want like to get him an entire
We
body.
got a few people join here. Oh, Walt Watts. Dude, love you, man. Oh, that's so good. He's a great animator who is also a great tattoo artist, by the way.
Oh, good to
Incredible,
know.
incredible work.
Wow, a
So
recommendation like that,
I'm
that's
definitely a fan.
amazing.
Yeah.
All right, all right. So, I think that we already have like some people here. Let me check.
Yeah.
Okay, on Instagram and on TikTok. So let's just start
Right
talking
on.
about something that I'm so excited.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. So we are having a workshop, a training.
We're having a workshop that starts tomorrow. It's going to be 5 Saturdays through October and the first Saturday in November. It's from 10 to noon Mountain Time. That's
10
here, like in
a.m.
Salt
to
Lake and Denver, whatnot. And but people can join from anywhere on the planet via Zoom. And we're going through these 5 Saturdays from 10 to noon, going through all aspects of voiceover, about learning your instrument, um, about creating consistency and versatility, about creating and cataloging character voices for animated work, doing short form character and announcer work for commercial work, different types of narration and how to approach that, learning the right questions to ask.
Oh my gosh, you
Yeah,
cover a lot.
yeah, we think it's about thinking like a producer and director so that you're no longer worried about pleasing them. You actually put yourself in their shoes, like an actor does, and all of a sudden you start collaborating and solving problems. And
That's fantastic. I
it's a
didn't
lot of
knew
fun.
that you want to cover all those points because
Oh yeah.
it's not just about like becoming a voiceover actor. It's also about how to merge in the community and
Mhm.
how to get hired
Yeah,
because
exactly.
it's all about that.
There's a lot of people who are very equipment based, who are really, really good, really talented, and competent at recording and editing, and all of that is great. And you do need to learn all of that. In fact, I plan on having some symposiums in the future. We'll touch on it. We'll toe dip into that a little bit. But I actually have some engineers and producers who I plan on hosting some little 1 day workshops with them where they help people with different platforms on editing and recording. And we'll get into that stuff. But the first thing that I want people to do is what Steve Martin says when people ask him, how do I network? How do I break into comedy? His answer is, be so good they can't not hire you. So in other words, I'm going to help you so that as a performer, you're sought after. So
Wow.
that's the main thing.
I had no idea that this workshop was so complete.
Yeah.
And it's going to be 3 hours each Saturday.
It's from 10 to noon.
Oh, 10 to noon. Okay.
Yeah, it's 10 to
2
noon.
hours.
It's 2 hours. We cover a lot of material. There are homework assignments that people can do on their own and bring back the next Saturday and let us know about. And they're actually a lot of fun. And I send everybody, after we go through a lot of information, I send them things that they can work on until we gather the next Saturday.
Okay, so there is homework as well.
There is, but it's
That's
not.
amazing.
It's fun homework. And also obviously there's no penalty if you don't do it. Nobody has to sit in the corner or gets an F. So it's when you have the time to do it, you can always do it.
You're not going to fail them.
No, there's none of that. There's none of that. It's
Yes.
it's all. I just facilitate you educating yourself
Yeah.
in voiceover. And I noticed that often when I was driving home from an audition or even from a gig, that's when the tumblers would fall into place, and I would be like, oh, I know exactly what to do with this. And that's why I kind of like these 2 hour bursts of information. And then I also send you not just homework assignments, but I send you notes that cover everything that we talked about.
Wow.
So that you don't have to worry about writing it down, although that wouldn't hurt you if you did, as long as your first priority is to be there present with each other. And you'll be able to review that. And I think that sometimes when you're driving to get your groceries or you're about to fall asleep at night, that's a lot of the time when you're going to have these ahas about stuff that we were covering in class.
Like both.
Yeah, that might be confusing, but then all of a sudden it's like,
oh, that
your brain's
makes sense.
Yeah, your brain runs kind of like an app in the background that's updating while you're doing something else.
Interesting theory.
Yeah, that happens with a lot of learning. I've noticed that often when I was in the hot spot, either on stage or in a voiceover booth or on a film set, that once the pressure is off is when the answers often come to you. So
Wow.
Yeah.
No, I am surprised because I actually wasn't expecting something like so well organized and so complete. And I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Do you plan to have this course like I don't know, maybe available for who cannot attend right now?
Yeah, for those who aren't able to be here, I mean, I still plan on, because I love it so much, I plan on doing it 3 or 4 times a year in person, and that's going to be kind of like the rate that I have the classes at now. But for those that don't want to do that, yeah, we're going to have a pre-recorded uh, uh, course that you can purchase online, and you can go through the assignments that I give, and you can listen to and or watch
in your own time.
on your own
That's
time.
amazing. And you can like rewatch it.
Exactly.
Like,
whenever you want to.
yeah.
You'll be able to do that, and I think it'll be great. Oh yeah, does that need to?
Yeah. We're just checking in here if it's transmitting
Yeah.
properly.
Yeah,
I think that it is.
Okay, good.
Everything okay?
Oh,
here?
yeah, we're back on.
Yeah.
All right.
Technical problems.
That's right.
Yeah, that happens. All right. So I have another question for you.
Yeah.
Do you work like in person? Because I know a lot of professionals that does the same, like offer a course or a webinar,
Sure.
and they also have obviously that it's charged an amount because obviously that your time it's something that have a lot of value. But what do you consider like to attend people one-on-one at some point?
I've done one-on-ones with a few people. And that's that's kind of a different setup, because it is taking a lot of time. There are professionals actually that work with me one-on-one that have busy schedules and are working actors, and they're not available on Saturdays. And I've done individual coaching sessions with them, even if for specific auditions, whether it was for a cartoon or a video game. Even I've had known voice actors contact me, and I've worked with them even specifically on the script that they were working on, and come up with a few specific choices that really freed them up and made them feel like, oh, that's right. Kind of reminding them sometimes of what they already know, and then sometimes bringing to them things that surprise their own ear that they didn't know they could do. And I'd say, you can bring that to the session and let the director decide whether you want to do that or not. And I've had a few people who've gotten parts in cartoons and video games after working with me on their auditions.
No, that's super great. I think that the feedback is fantastic because you have an idea of what you're doing. Me as an actress, I started to do like videos, self-tape audition.
Yeah.
And because the in-person auditions was like, I had no idea if I went good or not, or I never had like a feedback. So I love that after COVID, we started with the self-tape auditions.
Yeah.
And I can see myself. And when you have like a professional that can give you feedback and can give you like exactly what you need to work, that's amazing, because you are not wasting your time.
Yeah.
And and even like frustrating yourself trying what doesn't work. And looks like you are really updated in the market. Because I see that you are everywhere. Would you like to share with us like some work and some brands?
Yeah, I mean, when I'm not doing voiceover, I'm also occasionally doing television and film work. I started off in theater when I was younger, and I even did musical theater. I was a singer, actor, and dancer. And I've noticed, in fact, that musical theater people often make some of the best voice actors. Because you know how to stretch the limit of your voice work, of your body movement.
Yeah, the vocal cords.
Yeah,
I never thought about that.
And there's a lot that you can apply to it, and then you can always turn up or down your performance. But when I'm not doing that, I just at the end of this last year, I finished, and now it's just now out. Amber Brown on Apple TV. I have a role on that show.
Whoa.
Produced by Bonnie Hunt, and that was a fun show to do. And then I also did. I just did a Hallmark movie called Love in the Limelight.
Oh, I heard about that.
Yeah, and I play a goofy character, shockingly enough.
You are so versatile.
I love it.
I am your fan. Oh my God.
That's kind of you to say.
No.
And then I do a lot of voiceover work. I've been doing some stuff for Warner Brothers this last year. I was the voice of Professor Layton for the Nintendo DS Level 5 Professor Layton franchise. And then I also do a lot of commercial work, and I've done 2 new cartoons that are actually premiering later this fall. So
Oh.
yeah,
It's interesting because it's like so open the possibilities.
yeah,
Because when you are an actor, you just like you have an appearance, you have your age,
yeah,
that limits you. But voice acting, it's like you if you are able to make a voice that
hmm
would be I don't know, a kid's voice,
hmm
an old man's voice, a witch voice. So it's for me it's like even easier
yeah,
to get like a lot of different works and jobs and gigs and
yeah.
and it's not just the movies and the TV shows or commercials. You have the video games as you mentioned,
That's the
and
best. Yeah,
yeah, all the commercials like for because everything today it's about the internet,
yeah.
and mostly of the commercials that I see, it's like just a
Online.
presentation, yes, online.
Yeah,
So there is a huge need for voiceover actors right now because of this boom. After COVID, everything is online.
yeah,
Inclusive your course right now, it's not in person anymore. It's by Zoom,
yeah.
and it just opened up for the entire world.
Yeah, well, and I resisted doing the classes on Zoom, just like I resisted having the home studio for 10 years before that. There were so many people who were friends of mine, colleagues of mine that were working so much because they had mastered their home studio setup. And I was a guy who was just like, no, I will not do it. And over the about 5 years ago, I started kind of honing in exactly getting it to sound right and being used to using the equipment myself and being
No.
sort of an engineer. And fortunately, I did that in time for when COVID hit because as soon as everything shut down and you couldn't go into a studio, my work didn't slow down. And I was fortunate enough to be in one industry where a lot of my neighbors and friends were kind of like, hey, how you doing? It's pretty rough out there. And I was like,
Not for
pretty
me.
great. Yeah, it's been pretty great.
That's the magic of being well prepared
Yeah,
and about work with something that you love,
yeah,
you are passionate about. And like voice acting for me, it's how I started. Obviously, that I do have some limitations with my accent,
yeah.
but what you know what is
But you
interesting
can use it.
when yes, when there is a gig that they are specifically searching for someone with an accent,
hmm
then I have the priority, and
Oh,
it's easier
sure.
because I'm not competing with a lot of
Yeah.
people.
Well,
So
and also between foreign language localization stuff that you could also do, where you could do Portuguese if you wanted to, and then you can also do English with your accent. Those are both viable
yeah,
work options.
and because of lack of information, and because I started without uh, like some guidance
Yeah,
from someone like you that does have all the experience and is actually in the market, because there's a lot of people that's outdated,
right.
and so I was struggling to try, and I was not believing in myself because I had no idea about the quantity, like how much possibilities it has.
Yeah.
For example, I got a job for working for a airline, just like to like repeat some stuff that pilots
Yeah.
supposed to be able to understand someone with an accent,
hmm
because if they have to land in Brazil, they have to understand an English with an accent.
Yeah.
So I thought that was incredible. So this was for a course to test pilots, and
Oh
I
my
got the
gosh.
job like pretty easy. And another one was a video game. That was a video game in Latin America,
hmm
and they needed someone with an accent.
Yeah.
Exactly, because it's supposed to be, the player it's traveling to Latin America, And so he fights all those characters that they are gangsters and drug dealers and things like that. So everyone in the game speaks with an accent, and those are the opportunities that I had no idea about, because I say like, okay, I have an accent. I'm not even trying because I have no chance in the market, So if I would invest in a course, in a webinar, or if I would like have the opportunity to know someone like you in the beginning, I would have saved so much money and so much time
Yeah.
just by like knowing my possibilities.
Yeah.
And not limiting
Well,
myself.
and the thing is I'm offering what an agent of mine offered me when I started in the business about 25 years ago, which was, she said, well, you need to take a workshop and you need to do a demo. And I was like, oh yeah, well, let's do a demo. And she goes, you need to take a workshop and then do a demo.
Okay.
And I was like, I can't afford to do that. So I basically spent 6 months hounding her, going, send me on an audition, send me on an audition. She finally sent me on one and I got it. But the moral of the story isn't you don't need a workshop and a demo, go hound your agent till they send you. I'm fortunate that I had already spent 20 some odd years doing theater. So I already knew how to perform, and I just ended up honing it in that situation to work behind a microphone.
Okay.
And from there, she started bringing me in every time there was an audition, just to kind of workshop me, to show me what I needed to do and what was working and what wasn't working. And over the years, with the 10 years that it took me to really build my reputation and my career as a voice actor, the first 10 years of it. So there were times when I got really smug. I remember like a year in after that, where she said, we still need a demo from you. And I said, well, I'm working all the time. I don't have a demo. Who cares? And she went, yeah, moron. And she held my face like, imagine how many jobs you'd have if you had a demo.
Okay.
And I was like, if I felt really dumb, it was like in the same breath as I was like, I don't need that. I'm amazing. I got this. She was like, yeah, dummy. How much would you have with a demo? I was like, oh, that's right. I mean, she was perfect for me because she had such a great sense of humor and totally knew how to kind of, spank my brain to make me go, hey, don't run in the road, and of course I immediately put one together. And as soon as I did that, and I started training with people that she brought in from Los Angeles and from New York, I worked with Ginny McSwain, who was a director and producer on the Winnie the Pooh series, on one of the more recent ones, and recent being 10 years ago. And I worked with Leigh Gilbert, who is a wonderful commercial voiceover coach from Los Angeles, and her friend, who was my agent, Linda Behrman, who is wonderful to work with. And whenever she does anything, she helped me build my career, and I absolutely adore her. I worked with, and I got to work with and was mentored by Ken Sansom, who was the voice of Rabbit on Winnie the Pooh.
Oh.
And we were good friends until he passed away a few years ago, and I definitely miss him. But a lot of just wonderful voice talent. I've been able to pass on what they taught me, and a lot of things that I learned on my own, which was great for me to learn. But I also noticed that it took me 10 years to learn a lot of things that I'm able to pass on to other people in about 5 minutes. The thing is, I think that sometimes when you work for it that long, you value it more. But you have to wonder if the opportunities are still there to, oh my gosh, I'm getting taller.
Oh, yeah.
On Instagram. I'm not
TikTok.
Or on TikTok, I mean.
Yeah. I'm just like trying to
there we
adjust.
go. There we go.
Yeah.
But yeah, I absolutely love the things that I learned from them, and I've been able to pass it on to other people.
Yes, this is the most incredible about you, because like everyone right now can just like go to Google and search for you, and they are going to find a lot of stuff that you have been working.
Yeah,
And because you got your experience by doing it in with big people, with
yeah,
people that know what they are doing. They are great actors, voiceover actors, and they just love what they do. And these characteristics about you, how you are, I think that you are really humble, but you are friends with some big dudes in Hollywood and here in Utah. Jeff Johnson, for example, it's
oh yeah, we go way back. Yeah,
yeah, it looks like you guys started the career together and grow together and seeing each other, like just like updating the versions of yourselves over the years.
yeah.
And I see how you maintain this connection, not just as professionals that or co-workers.
Hmm.
Let's call it co-workers, but it's also a friendship,
Yeah,
and it's an environment that you live in,
yeah,
where the people that surround you are people that are related to the filming industry,
yeah,
voiceover acting in general, and you know everyone. You got
yeah.
a great memory, and
Been
you
around a while.
got the respect of everyone here in Utah. And I know that you built this reputation because you are fantastic in your craft.
You know, I think when people love what they're doing, hopefully it shows, and you love other people who love it. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. Is I've never felt like I was networking. I always felt like I was just being who I am, and loving what I do and loving other people that love what we do. Um, Jeff and I, that's interesting that you bring up Jeff Johnson. The reason that a lot also that my voiceover career became, as far as body of work goes, probably 80% of what I do is because
Oh,
he and I uh, met each other back when he was doing some of his first casting for a film, and I auditioned for it. And there's some funny stories there, but the main thing was that I for the first 7 years of auditioning for him, I wasn't getting any TV or film through him. I got a few things through Kate Pregastis. I got a few things through. I think I probably got some work through Katrine McGregor. There was another casting director, um, Judy. There were some CBS things that I was getting, but I wasn't getting any.
CBS is like a news, isn't
The
it?
network, they were the network that had some drama series that were shooting here,
Oh, okay.
and movies of the week and things like that. And I was getting some of those, but I wasn't getting anything through Jeff, who was doing a lot of Disney and then a lot of other film companies.
Wow.
And I talked to him about it about 5 years in, and I said, "Yeah, I'm not landing anything." And he says, "Well, everyone's always impressed with your acting, but you don't,
Yes.
but you haven't." Your look doesn't match who you are as a
Oh,
person.
that makes
He goes, you'll have
sense.
to age into your castability. And
Oh,
it wasn't even until I was like this, like an old man. It was like it was 7 years, and then all of a sudden I was in my 30s. And as soon as I hit my 30s, I was working nonstop for like the next 7 years through Jeff. And I
wow,
was,
that's a huge change.
yeah,
Just because of the appearance
yeah,
that wouldn't match with your voice, or
yeah, with my voice and with my mannerisms, and I was like,
oh,
"Well, I can
okay.
act differently." He was like, "No, no, no, we need you to be you, or different
Oh,
versions of you, but it's just not the casting isn't quite working out." And then as soon as
okay.
I hit that, all of a sudden, I was getting parts without even trying. It was just hit
Nice.
my stride and started working a lot.
Things just happened.
Yeah, and it had a lot to do with my age matching my castability. And what was great about voiceover is that that never became a factor. Is that since they didn't see your face, it didn't matter if you could play the role and you sounded like the guy or girl or the grandma.
Yeah.
or the little kid, or the monster, or the toaster, or whatever you're doing the voice for.
Yeah.
Um,
That's the most fantastic part about being a voiceover actor.
yeah, I mean, unless you don't know how to adjust your microphone, you're never too short to be in voiceover. So it's
I
the only
love
way would
it.
be if you don't know how to bring that microphone.
All right, we have a question
Yeah.
from Potmeat Kettle, and he's asking you, what is your favorite project so far?
Oh gosh,
Hard, huh? So
that's
many.
that's tough because
I can
there's different
imagine.
ones that are my favorite for different reasons. Um, I loved doing boy, I loved doing the Professor Layton stuff because the stories were so great. And I got to speak like this, which is my favorite. Most Americans tend to fetishize the British accent.
Oh,
That was what I was doing for that entire thing, and I loved it. And he was such a good character, a good person, um, and I loved doing some of the stuff I did with Evergreen Holiday Classics, where I got to direct voices and be in them as well, and I got to play Santa, and in
oh
the
my
Halloween one, I got
God.
to play Frankenstein. Everybody should go find that. Actually, you can probably find them on Amazon. Spooky Bats and Scaredy Cats, Evergreen Holiday Classic. It's all stop motion animation, and they're really really cute. And I got to be the Mummy and Frankenstein. And I got to direct all the other actors.
Amazing. So
Yeah,
you also work as a
yeah,
director.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, I had no idea.
And I got to cast actors for it. And it was one of my favorite things too, because when I was a little kid, my favorite things were those stop motion holiday specials. The Rudolph and Frosty and all of those those shows. And now I got to do something very similar to that. And it was all in the style of this artist named James Christensen, who did a lot of fantasy artwork that was absolutely beautiful.
Oh
And
my gosh.
yeah,
All right. So let's like just do a little pause if you need like to go and have some water.
yeah,
Then I'm going to request to jump in live with you.
yes.
So people that is following me can enjoy this conversation. I don't know why I didn't have this idea before.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so people can see me as well. So
Perfect.
let me see if I can. Okay, there is my request.
I
Accept.
would, I
Let's
would.
see if we can share the screen.
Woohoo!
Oh, but
Oh,
we have a return.
I like the echo.
Echo, echo.
I'm
All
gonna okay.
right. So, what is my image?
Where are you?
Where
What
am
happened? Why are you
I?
in the dark? I would also say that one of my favorite characters that I've done recently is this incredible lizard-like general in this new show that's coming out. Where I sat right below these. He's a lot
Oh,
of fun. Yeah.
yeah,
Oh yeah, we'll turn down the volume on that so we're
yeah,
not
because
so
we are
echoey.
having a return. So, and I'm trying to show to people, and
What
it's all
happens?
dark. I don't know. That's a good question. So
How's your charge on there?
yeah, it's really good.
Okay, good.
So I'm sorry, everyone. I'm trying like to jump in, but we are going live in 3 platforms right now.
Yeah.
And sorry if we are not like paying attention on the questions.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Let's get to some of those. Let's go look through and find some of the questions, and I'll answer some of those.
mm,
I'm gonna go grab a little
yeah.
glass of
Oh,
beverage.
yes, grab some water,
Right.
and I'm going to see if I can fix this. If I can like jump in. So let me leave the live from here. Yes. And we can try again.
Yes, yes, yes. Let's
All right.
see here.
So Christopher is gonna be back pretty soon. We don't have like a crew today to serve us some water, and he's been talking already almost 30 minutes already. So he's going to be back soon as soon he gets his water, and I am trying to see if I can jump on in the live. But what is interesting is that my camera, it's not working. Okay, so I can connect just with audio. I'm sorry, everyone. I don't know what is going on.
We'll get it handled.
I don't know if it's something on the stream, but yeah, it's definitely not showing me. I wonder why. Guess that's not working, but I'm going to stay so at least people that it's following me can be in the live. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Cheers.
Cheers, team.
We're having some drink, but out of camera.
That's right.
Yes. PG-13.
That's right.
PG-13.
That's right.
All right. So to go back and to, okay, I don't know if I should like just to turn it off because we are having a return in my phone.
Okay.
What it doesn't supposed to happen because it's really low. So let me restart my TikTok and try one last time. If it didn't work, we are going to keep going.
Yeah.
You guys can send your questions.
Yes.
We have like Brazilian Matt. He has to accept the live request on his page. Yes, he did. But and vintage covers. I like your hat.
Thank you.
Oh boy.
It's my little homage to Samuel L. There we go. I'll try and put it on backwards. It's my Kangol hat.
This is when he wants to play like little guys, little boy that doesn't behave so well. That's and then he turned the head.
That's right.
All right, let me try to invite myself again.
Yeah.
So there am I. And I got the invitation. I accept. Let's see. Yay! Hello, everyone. Well, now you guys can see me and him at least on TikTok. It's not gonna be possible on Instagram because we are using all the phones.
Yeah.
But anyways, we can like also to record TikTok record a live automatically.
Yeah.
And we can like use some parts and post the best parts for you guys after. Okay. So I have another question for you.
Yeah.
What is the difference from beginners and like intermediate level for a voiceover acting? It's not what is the difference. I think that my question is, are you able to cover the difference in levels in your course? Because obviously that someone that's advanced can be a little bit bored.
You would think.
Start.
You would think, but it's kind of like working in a dojo. You can have black belts at the front and white belts at the back, and everybody's learning what's next for them. There's not a lot of waiting around to get to something that relates to you. I can tell you that back in the days when I was in ballet, one of my heroes was Mikhail Baryshnikov. And he always said that the most difficult thing for him to do was to go back to a ballet 1 class and have to stand at the bar and do just one simple pirouette where you bring your leg up and you have to stay and don't sickle your foot.
Gracefully.
And do one rotation and come down with control. Because he could do 10 pirouettes without even thinking about it, but do you have enough control to go back and do just one? Tendu, prepare, up, and down into 5th position, you know, and going back and doing the very basic thing doesn't really actually even happen a lot in this class, but we cover everything, and people are able to take whatever they're doing to whatever level they need it to be, you know. So
right.
Yeah.
That's amazing. It's really interesting because you have like this background in dance,
Yeah.
which helps a lot in my viewpoint. So I used to be a dancer as well.
Yeah.
I think that when you understand, because it's all about sound, and we are talking about voice acting,
Yeah.
and when you understand like the waves of sound, when it just is absorbed by your soul, your skin, your mind, and move. And I think that it's important as well, because when you are a voiceover acting, you have to to act. It's not just to
Yeah.
stay
It's not
sitting
about the
in
sound of
front
your
of.
voice. Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, well, also one of the things about it too is that it fools a lot of people. They think that it is because it's called voiceover, that it's about
Yeah.
just your voice and the recording of it. That just happens to be the medium through which it's conveyed. But actually, it's as much about your body movement. It's about your
Oh,
body, your face, and your voice and your brain.
synesthesis. I can imagine.
And we teach everybody how to prepare themselves for that kind of thing. So, yeah.
All right. So I'm trying like to connect,
Yeah.
okay, people, to connect another cable here because looks like this cable is not working.
Yeah.
And we do not want to run out of
No.
battery. So let's see if
No,
we
you can
can
undo that red one even.
change this one. Yeah, undo the red one here and connect over there. So let's see what can I do to
Beautiful.
yes, now we have this one charging, so we're not
Section.
gonna have a problem.
Yep. We're all good.
And let's put this one over here and make sure that we are going to
Beautiful.
exactly. Okay, everything good there, everything good here.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I think I'm frozen. Okay,
Oh,
I'm
no,
back.
not frozen.
Yay!
Perfect.
Technical things. But we cut this
Yeah.
part when we are going to
That's right.
publish it.
We'll edit it in post.
Edit it in post. All right. So my concern was about people that it's just starting in the voiceover career.
Yeah. Yeah.
If they would feel comfortable, if it would not like be so advanced for them, or if people that's advanced will not feel a little bit bored with beginners
No,
information.
I've done this class where I worked with some people who had been working for 15 years as voice actors and producers
Mhm.
in the same class with brand new beginners. And they got really excited about what the beginners were doing too, because it prompted them as voice actors. They were like, oh, yeah, as a producer, this is how I can come up with new solutions, even as a voice actor, because I know what to do when I hear this person. I have directions for them.
Mhm.
And then I taught them more than that. Instead of just to direct another actor to make them do what you want, instead of dance puppet, it became they learned the questions that they could ask and they got to watch in real time. Sometimes I would even have them take over and direct a piece that we're doing in the class.
Oh,
People
that's
take turns as a
fantastic.
people take turns as a producer, and they work with the other person and they learn the difference between when you're trying things and when you're teaching somebody a new technique and when you're directing them, and those things are different.
Oh,
They overlap and they often can seem like the same thing, and both happen in either scenario. You end up directing people sometimes when you teach, and you end up teaching people sometimes when you're directing them. But people learn more about self-direction, even veterans, when they get to work with or they watch me work with their classmates who are brand new. And the people who are brand new to it sometimes move so fast through the levels of skill because they don't have years and years of somebody else's beliefs and dogma affixed to their work.
wow. Blowing mind
Yeah.
right now.
And so it's kind of a win-win for everybody when beginners work with advanced people, and advanced people work with beginners.
The fresh
Yeah,
ones.
it isn't a time waste. It isn't.
Yeah.
It really is beneficial. I've done workshops where I separated it. Let's just make this people who are advanced, um, and we've had some decent classes that way. I've noticed that the advanced people tend to get more, and they advance more quickly when they're working with people who are less advanced than them, because they start to get comfortable and realize that you're not there to show everybody how good you are. You're there to dare to suck and try things and just experiment and really understand what the techniques are. And the reason I also like the comparison to the dojo is it's not about just getting it in here. It's about getting it in your fingers and toes and into your voice. It's a technique that you do things with. Like you could read all day about martial arts. You could read all day about punching, but until you do one,
Do the movement.
it doesn't matter
Yeah.
how much you hear about it and think about it. You have to do it.
That's really good. What do you recommend for people like actors and voiceover actors, especially for voiceover actors? Because I see, and I was one person that used to believe that we do not need like to work in the body because we will not like move or do anything. So, what do you recommend to do? Dance or martial arts or anything that's related to the
Yes, and I would also say do household chores and do them mindfully, because a lot of people go, I don't want to spend my time doing this. I want to be an actor. It's like, well, what the hell do you think you're going to do on screen? You're probably going to play a mom who's mopping the floor.
Wow, that's
So
a great
why
advice.
aren't you mopping the floor?
With intention. I am doing. I am in present time. That's amazing.
Yeah. A lot of those things, a lot of those tasks, like to choose to be in the moment, even though you've got a dishwasher, fill the sink with some soapy water and plunge your hands into that warm water. Make sure you don't split your fingers on a knife in there or anything, but just mindfully, like hand wash your dishes and rinse them off and set them to the side. Be in your body doing things. That's why it's important. It's because there is nothing outside of that. We're reflecting humanity back to itself through our life, and then we're synthesizing it when we perform.
That's fantastic. Yeah. I'm just like,
so when you're on camera or you're on stage, you're actually doing that thing in the space. You don't have to truly like go schizophrenic and pretend I'm really at home. It's like, no, but you do what you're doing at home while there's an audience there. And you don't spend any of your energy blocking that audience. You're just so busy doing what you're doing. Same with voiceover. With voiceover, you have to stand behind a microphone, and sometimes you have to create the physicality of that you're running from the zombies.
That's super interesting.
That you're climbing something, that you're lifting something.
If you're not in shape,
right? Yeah, and you're going to be creating all of that, and you can either just make the noises of it, which technically you will be.
Yeah.
You've got to run from the zombies, but you've got to do it while not standing behind the microphone.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not even about going to the feeling place. You're going to have to actually find a way to move in place and create that physicality. So, we got any comments or questions here?
We do. We do. So let's see over here.
Let's go back a little bit.
There's a lot of comments and questions. So this is Matt. Okay, because I would always try to do Layton's voice, but I haven't done it for a while. So do you know what Connor is talking about? Layton's voice?
Yeah, Professor Layton. That's
all right.
That's an iconic character.
Yeah, Vince is saying that he knows how to do the Lucas voice.
Yes, the Lucas voice. Yes, was played by several actresses who always did. They often, for cartoons and video games, they often hire women to do the little boy voices. Sometimes they hire little boys, and sometimes men do it, and then they just sound cartoony like a young man, but it's matched to a boy. But that stuff is great. I love it. I love that. Doing Lucas's voice for those of you who grew up with or came to love those games. I love that. I love that those have brought joy to your life and that you like to do the voices. Those are fun stories too, and great
I
puzzle
have
games.
no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, it sounds fun. And Connor say that the Leighton series was a big part of his childhood. And he say, thanks for your amazing work.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
Oh, that's super cute. Yeah. And then we have like a Matt that say that 24 others joined. And okay, I have been voice acting and doing impressions since ninth grade. And one thing that works for me is to really think about being that character. The same goes for my acting and singing. Do you have any comments on that?
Yes, I do, and I'm so glad that you do that. Um, just so long as you find a way to be grounded, and what that means, that term is thrown around a lot. As long as you're able to be present in the moment enough to react to your physical reality and the people that you're performing with. Because sometimes I've gone away in my head where I'm like, oh, I'm really this guy and I'm in this place and I understand him. And then there's other actors or a director who are like, hi, where'd you go? And you have to do both at the same time. I'm sure you probably know what I'm talking about. Where you have to merge that, your imagination, with being in your body in this place right now. You know, standing on the rug that you're standing on, or the cement or the hard foot, wherever you are, and using what's around you, your clothes that are actually on your body, as well as using your imagination to say that this is that. So,
Wow.
yeah, very
So,
cool.
and Vince says, I can do that one because I'm a girl, but look is very easy for me. I have actually gotten better at Leighton's voice though.
You know, I also love when people experiment when they're doing uh, character voices, that you don't just listen to actors who are the same gender as you, that you do people of all backgrounds and of all types, um, because it will because if you don't successfully recreate that sound, you've just learned a secret of most of the masters and professionals out there, which is, you know, if you're trying to do Professor Layton, and because you're a woman, a young lady, you don't sound like when I do Professor Layton. Then you've created an original character. Maybe you've created his auntie. Maybe you've created his twin, who's female. Maybe a whole new character.
Let me
So,
try to get you like a little bit tall so I don't have
yes.
like a neck.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So we're not
Yeah, that makes
scrunching.
things easier for me.
There we go.
So I'm not like looking up
Yeah.
and like probably having a neck pain. Very good. So Connor
Yeah.
said, Maria Darling was fantastic voice for the UK look. I
She
wonder
was.
if Chris ever met her.
I didn't get to meet her because she was working. Well, because I was working at a different time than all the other actors. We all came in individually. I'm sure I'll meet her one of these days. But she did a wonderful job. Yeah, when they released in the UK, they replaced all of the English-speaking voices with UK actors, except me. And I was thrilled when I heard that, because all the American actors, and including British actors who lived in the US, who were doing character work on the game for release in the US, were fantastic. But the UK was demanding real, local, authentic, you know, United Kingdom voices. And
Well,
I was so
yeah.
thrilled that they kept me on for those. So.
Yeah, because you're a good one. That's
Oh,
why.
I appreciate that.
I thought you're too humble. All right. And we have like another question here
Yeah.
that I don't know if you want to go there, but I
Yeah.
think that's really, really important to discuss this subject because even I want to know.
Yeah.
So, Kills Draco or Draco, he said, when it comes to coaching up and coming voiceover artists,
Yeah.
what are your rates?
When it comes to coaching them,
Mhm.
if you're doing one, I mean, if you do the class, our 5-week class is $500, and so that ends up being about $50 an hour for that class. Which the value in that is that you get to work with me directly, and also it becomes worth it for me because there's more than one person there. So it varies. If you want to contact me directly, I can talk to you about that because
Yes, 101, obviously that it's going to be all the rates.
yeah,
Yeah, so
but
yeah.
trust me, it's pretty affordable if I have the time. It really comes down to, I've said before to students where they were like, well, how much is it for me to work with you one-on-one? And do you charge? And I'm like, well, yeah. I always say this. My wife says, throw me under the bus for this. Just tell them I'll kill you if you don't make any money for the time you're spending. So
I love your wife.
okay, I promise. No, it's pretty affordable depending on my schedule.
I agree.
I do have a couple of shows that I'm working on that take a lot of my hours, but there are days where I've got nothing
Yeah.
going on, and if you're free and I'm free, we can always meet up. And
What is really, really nice from you because it's easy for you to understand the value, even like for this life, like to get this guy here today and just like taking his time in a Friday night after a busy week. So you guys are getting already a lot of content that it's really valuable. So you just like imagine that an hour on set, Chris on set for 1 hour. I am pretty sure that it's not going to be less than $700, $800.
yeah,
And if you have the chance to work directly with him, the value that you get from working with someone that is on the industry, that is updated, that knows how it works, it's gonna make you, it's gonna bring you the possibility to actually become a professional, but a professional that it's not that he knows what he's doing as a voice actor, but he also knows how to sell and how to connect, how to be in present time, how to make network, how so every and even like by being in the course, you are already getting connected with other people that love the same craft and become friends and sharing experiences information because Chris also have the group that you can join and obviously that you are going to make friends over there and discuss after the class what you guys learn. And I love, for example, to bother my friends, like to send them auditions and ask, oh, I have these 3 takes, voting one.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And we've even done with a lot of us with our on-camera things. We're often getting on Zoom with each other to read across from each other for our self-tapes. I mean, we've even done that for movies and television. Um, you and I happen to work together in an improv group. I've been doing improv for about 20 years,
Yeah.
and you're new to that.
I'm lucky. I work with the man.
Hey, it's fun, and it's helped with
Yeah.
voiceover work. It's helped as a director. It's helped as a writer, and it's definitely gotten me work in voiceover and on stage and in film and television.
Yeah.
So that too. Yeah.
That's when I had the chance to meet him in person, and I already told him I am a fan,
Oh, that's so nice.
and I'm just like he inspires me so much. It's like someone that yeah, I feel really really lucky to be able like even like to be sharing this moment with you. It's
Hey,
like
I love it. Thank you.
it's like for a foreigner, and I consider myself a beginner actress that I know nothing how things works in United States. I have to start from like from zero practically and with an accent. And I would love to ask you,
Yeah.
what is your opinion on it? Like because we do have a lot of people that is interested in the course, like in the WhatsApp group.
Yeah.
Like, and I have like about 25 people that they are all foreigners.
Yeah.
So, what do you have to say for foreigners that is concerned about the accents, as I was
Well,
and about being in another country and be hired to
yeah.
work in the United States?
Well, I can tell you that you get to lead with it as an asset. Um, there's someone who wasn't a foreigner but was very, very specific. Um, Fran Drescher had a Queens, New York accent. She talked like this and was very nasal. And she was told for the first several years of her career that you really need to overcome that voice and change it.
You do it so well.
And she is now the president of the Screen Actors Guild. So I get letters
Wow.
from her all the time that I peruse that she sends to us as members of this union. And she's a
Fantastic.
brilliant actress. She even learned that. She even went to a vocal coach and learned how to do that. It became a bit that she did in her series The Nanny that she was the lead in, where she one time she either drank something or she ate something really hot, and she went from talking like this, and then she had that one. Oh my goodness. All of a sudden her accent was gone and she was speaking deep and not in her nose. And then coughed a couple times and went, oh, there, better. And it was
Oh,
right back.
amazing.
So, which is really cute. So the thing
Yeah.
is, if you're told that it's a problem, I put that through the little interpretive filter to say, what you need to do is not get rid of your accent. What you need to do is add to your tool bag of you have that accent just walking and talking. Now learn to do some others. You don't ever have to lose your accent. But if you so choose, you can learn to put on other accents and add that to your tool bag. And that way you can put your own personal accent on the shelf. And then when you're done acting, you go right back to you.
Wow.
Because this is how I talk, but when I was doing Professor Layton, I was speaking like this the whole time, you know. And and I've also done characters that were like this, doing this sort of thing all the time.
That's incredible.
Yeah, and I can
Yeah.
do lots of accents. In fact, I think I had on my TikTok this really handsome young man, Irish fellow who surfs, and he was talking about the Jamaican accent. And I remember learning this when I was doing an improv show, and they were throwing different accents at us. And I was starting to do with this sort of accent where I was talking like that. But then I started to lose the rhythm, and all of a sudden it starts to become Irish. Well, there's a
Oh,
reason for that. That's because the Irish taught the African immigrants who lived in Jamaica to speak English. So people from Africa were learning from Irish people. So that's why they have the same T's and T's and they speak like that. And the other population in Jamaica, the second largest from the Africans, is actually the white Irish people who lived there who were indentured servants. So it's how those accents all mix and merge. Learning how any accent you have is usually the product of 3 or 4 different cultures merging.
oh, interesting.
How the South is people from the UK with a British accent, coming here, and then it's sort of melting because it's so damn hard, and it's just a British accent that's kind of slowed down. And then they go through Louisiana, and then they go into Texas, and it goes from a drawl into a twang. And then you
Wow.
go to California, and you keep the R's from the twang, but you lose the twangy part.
Yeah.
So how it just kind of moves like that across the United States. There's these different areas, and there's different areas like that when you go to any country where there's mixes of different cultures that make up those accents.
Yes. So in Brazil, Brazil is huge,
Yeah.
and I would love to have like the same talents that I have in
Yeah.
Portuguese, but I can like imitate like a lot of accents in Brazil. And if
Yeah.
you go to the different region, for example,
Uh-huh.
if you are in São Paulo, they are going to speak a little bit like that.
Yeah.
But see, if you go to Minas, they are going to speak a little bit like this,
Oh,
so
okay.
it's really different. So
Yeah.
maybe you can like feel it a little bit more if I try in Portuguese. So
Yeah.
você é muito bem-vindo ao Brasil. Nós estamos muito felizes de ter você por aqui. But in Minas Gerais, that's
Yeah.
another state, it would be Você é muito bem-vindo, moço. Nós estamos muito felizes de ter você aqui hoje.
Oh my gosh, yep. You can definitely hear it.
Exactly. So what
It has more lilt
Yeah,
in, you know.
and it's singing. So and even like in your own country, you know that there is like you just change the region and there is gonna be a little variation. And
Yeah,
the same way that you are able to like just to navigate in the accents and to understand, you just have like to keep going. And I love what you say to do not lose your accent
yeah,
because you can go back
yeah,
and be able to represent yourself
yeah,
today with an accent when you do not have an accent
yeah,
anymore.
yeah.
And it's going to be perfect.
No, well, and the thing is that people in our country, where anybody lives, they always think that they're the people with no accent.
Mhm.
I was in Texas actually with a series of commercials that I had written for a dairy in Dallas, and I was doing a character who sounded like this all the time, like this. And the president of the company went, "I don't know, not sure I really like these ads. You know, you make it sound like a bunch of hicks." And then his brother went, "Bill, he sounds just like you." Like
Oh my
we
gosh, you
all
just
they three of them, and everybody at the table started laughing. He was like, "I do not. What are you talking about?" I was like, "I think I pretty much sound like you." And then he laughed and we went
wow.
for steaks. So yeah, it's like we tend to not hear our accent tends to be ground zero to us. We tend to think of it as
Exactly.
a non-accent until we compare it to other people. Also, when you're trying accents and you're doing different characters and different accents, dare to suck at it. Don't worry about doing a bad job at it. Just, toss it out there, record yourself, play it back and go, "Oh, that's weird."
Yeah,
And even if it's bad, once again, you've created kind of an original thing, you
that's
know?
fantastic.
Yeah.
What you just say is like I want like just like to cut this part and
Yeah.
edit and like a motivational. That
We'll
is
use it.
amazing, amazing how you just invite and inspire people to take a look at it with I don't know, like kids,
Oh, yeah.
without judgment, just playing around, playing pretend,
I mean, that
and
really
this
is the
is
way that we learn.
fantastic.
Through play. And so, we can slap all kinds of seriousness on this stuff, but at the end of the day, we are playing around. But then when we're trying to turn it into strong communication that we're using to make a piece of media to communicate with other people, then yes, there's some seriousness to it. I tend to call my technique disciplined mischief. So
What is a mischief?
it's all about goofing around and getting into trouble,
Oh, I love it.
but being disciplined enough to be able to go, "Oh, and this is where I stop that and I focus." And you use both. So instead of telling people that they need to learn how to buckle down, it's like, "No, no, no, goof around." But then when I say whatever I do, if I say, "Okay, focus up," then everyone just stops what they were doing and they bring it right back. Um,
Wow.
and because you're going to use that stuff that you were playing around and messing around with, but you can't, but you don't want to create complete anarchy because making art as a collaborative process when you're working with other people and you have directors, it requires a hierarchy, which requires discipline. A lot of people don't like hierarchies. They go, "I don't like that. I just want complete chaos." It's like, well, okay, but to collaborate with other people, you got to figure out a way to balance that out. Because I'm a bit of
Yeah.
an anarchist myself, but I've learned how to, instead of just be the guy who's in trouble for talking all the time and not being focused, I learned how to be and then, oh yeah, 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 okay. And
You're so
we
good.
have to and we have to do both. And one of the ways that we do that is we also play around with starting and stopping with our goofiness, so that we have a handle on it, if that makes any sense. I'm sure a lot of you guys
Totally
can relate to
does.
that. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we are already past the time.
okay.
But well, that's so fantastic. I could be like the entire night here, like just
Yeah.
talking to you because it's just like it's fantastic. I travel to another world when I am interacting with you. Like every single time in real life, I feel really, really blessed to
Oh,
have the chance to like just interact like in the Mondays, improv
yes,
Mondays with
yes.
you. And I am so excited because obviously I am going to be in his training
Yeah,
tomorrow.
tomorrow's going to be amazing.
Yeah,
If any of
and
you
I
still
can't
want to sign
wait.
up for it, go to enterthebooth.com, sign up for it, pay for it through Venmo if you want to join it. If not, we'll see you on the next one of these and enjoy whatever
Yeah.
you're doing with your weekend.
Yes, but anyways, get in touch
Yeah,
and at least follow all the social medias because we are
yeah,
going to post as soon we have the course ready to
yeah,
go. So we still need to work a little bit on the editing and
yeah.
organizing by chapters to do not overwhelm.
That's right.
But this is a fact. We are going to reuse our the
A lot
the
of what we're doing
amazing
tomorrow. Yeah,
parts. Yeah. So if you want to become or if you want to improve or to get more professional in your voiceover career, this is your opportunity.
yeah.
And like I I'm not like the right person to say it because I am like kind of trying to sell something here for you guys. But I'm super fan of this guy over here. So Christopher is an inspiration for me. But yes, you just like do your research and you are going to see that he is the man. And this kind of course, this kind of opportunity, it's not always because he is all the time busy. So for him to stop his life and to be able to, I don't know, just dedicate his time for the workshop, it happens rarely. So it's starting tomorrow.
Yep.
If you didn't like applied or went to the website, it's enterthebooth.com. Go there, you have all the information, more details, and you can just like get in touch with the people that helps him to administrate that, and they are going to assist you if you need like an assistance. If you don't, you just like go there as he told, like you can pay by Venmo. It's super simple and easy.
Yeah.
I don't know if oh, that's a great question. So do you have a PayPal or any other kind of payment for foreigners?
I do. Yes, I do. I the PayPal is stopthemusic@hotmail.com.
Oh, okay. So I'm going to maybe, can you like add it to your
I'll probably
website
add it to the
or
page. Yeah.
yeah, that's going to be amazing because I think that there is a lot of foreigners, like especially in the
Yeah.
WhatsApp group, it's a lot of people because WhatsApp it's not common here in United States. It's
Oh,
more for
right.
foreigners.
Right.
Brazil, it's like really huge.
In fact, I
And
can put the PayPal. What I can probably put it in the thread
oh
for those
yes,
who would like
we
to
are
do
going
that.
to have we are going to post this live. We are going to edit and post this live in YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. But we are not going to be able to post everything because it's really long.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's just 20 minutes,
We'll do a
but
little.
in the description below,
Yeah.
we are going to put the PayPal, the links, everything that we mentioned here today, so you don't have to memorize and you just go there. You are not going to be able to click on Instagram because Instagram doesn't allow. But enterthebooth.com, there is a link under his name in his profile in TikTok and in Instagram. So you just click over there and it's going to take you to the website enterthebooth.com and you are going to have all the details about the workshop tomorrow that I am so excited to start and to connect with other voiceover actors that obviously I love to connect with people that share the same passion as me and get to know new people and make network because it's really important.
Yeah.
So this is your opportunity to become a great professional voiceover actor, actress, and just like join the dynasty.
That's right.
I love that he call it the dynasty.
That's right. Because there's two ways I said, either nepotism or learn the skills that make you hireable. And since I'm not adopting anybody, this is the way. I will still mentor you, and then you can create your own voiceover dynasty.
Amazing. Chris, you know how much I love you, how much I
Likewise, I
admire
love you too.
you.
Thank you.
And it's like it's really sincere that I feel blessed to be able to put myself in a title, in label myself as your friend. And I can't believe, I really can't believe that I'm finally having the opportunity to like to be involved in a course, in a training that I have like total certainty that it's going to change my life as a voiceover actress. And I think that I believe in the universe and the law of attraction. I believe that everything happens for a reason. And I think that this that we are doing together as well, it's the beginning of great projects. I can't wait for you to post your course online because there is a lot of people that doesn't have time to be in the
Sure.
Saturday. And we have a lot of people, foreigners as well, that there is a huge difference. So
Yeah.
10 a.m. here, it's like 2 a.m. on where they live. So we need, please
Yeah.
put this course out.
We'll have it
because
out, yes, for
yeah,
sure. It'll be something maybe you can give each other for Christmas, or
yeah.
Hanukkah, or Kwanzaa,
Oh,
or
that's a great
New
idea.
Year's. So
I would love to receive like a course from you for Christmas.
it'll be a
Yeah,
lot
or
of
to
fun.
give yourself, because sometimes we have to gift ourselves.
Absolutely.
And a lot of time we just spend too much time, too much money with the people that we love.
Yeah.
I am one, but I don't worry about the price of the gift for
Sure.
my daughter or my husband. And when it's for me, I kind of I don't need that. But it's exactly what we have to change. Invest on ourselves, on
Yeah.
our career, and on the things that we are passionate about.
Absolutely. Investing in yourself is giving yourself a you go vote, and really can help you. Uh, a lot of people wonder how they can move forward with their auditions and with their work, and how do they break in and all of that, or how do they get to the next level. Usually, you need to invest in yourself somehow. It's are your demos current? Do you have headshots for those of you who are working in film and television and stage?
And the demo,
Trainings.
I had no idea. I learned today in the live with you that I
Yeah.
need a demo as a voiceover actress.
Yeah.
I do
Yeah.
have a demo as an actress, but a voiceover,
Yeah.
like, wow.
And a lot of people come to me and say, "Well, I just want to do a demo," and I'm like, "Well, okay." But the thing is your demo has to actually be a demonstration of your ability as a professional. And sometimes you don't know what you don't know. And
Wow.
putting that out there and having producers hear you and have you not necessarily be ready is probably a bad idea compared to waiting a few months, learning what you need to know, putting in your version, your tiny version of that Malcolm Gladwell 10,000 hours of mastery. You don't have to wait until you've done 10,000 hours, because that would be 5 years if you worked on it 40 hours a week. But at least put in a few dozen hours, if not hundreds, and then put your stuff out, and you'll be miles ahead of where you would be with all the passion in the world, but not having the skill set for your consistency. Don't let just your raw talent lead you in the industry. Back it with some skills. And I can tell you, as somebody who led with my talent for many years, people were like, "Impressive. Too bad we can't use you." As soon as I learned the skills that made me consistent and versatile, my biggest problem was I was having scheduling conflicts with too many jobs at the same time, and that is a possibility that can happen. But it makes a difference in how prepared you are. So
That's the best advice I ever heard. That's incredible. It's fantastic. It's really fantastic. Like what you just say, I just like it. I relate a lot.
I
That's
do too.
why I don't, because you are just like burning your reputation before you start.
Yeah. What do you guys think?
Back on the drawing board. Guilty of that. Well, I hope I have a chance like to restart.
Absolutely. absolutely.
and improve. Because obviously our directors know
Oh,
that that people can grow, but you have to become a better version of yourself as a professional and show it in a professional way.
And casting directors love it when you show up again and have something new to show them. So they're actually your fan. Casting directors want you to succeed because you're the solution to their problem. They need somebody in that role. So,
and as soon as they find it, like the work is done and they are happy, and yes, they are not there like to fail you or to reject you. No, they want you to get to so they are done and they can go to the next step of filming, of the casting, filming, and just like getting things done because that's the goal. Okay, so
well, thank you.
That's all for today. Thank you so much once more. Thanks everyone that is watching. Thanks for the likes. Thanks for your participation. Sorry if we didn't answer all the questions. Because it's
Maybe we can
complicated.
go in the messages.
If you guys can see, I'm going to show you all. So we are going live over there on IG, over here on TikTok, and over there on YouTube.
Oh my
See?
word.
So that's why that was a little bit not as organized as I would like to, but I called them to lose the opportunity because like to get this guy for 2 hours here because there is like all the preparation. I was like, no, we are doing it. Like it doesn't matter.
That's right.
If it's disorganized a little bit, just me and him, like doesn't matter. And this is amazing because he is so spontaneous and it's like, yeah, let's do it. And I love it. I love it. So once more, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I have no words like to express how thankful I am about sharing this moment with you.
Obrigado.
De nada. And tomorrow we are going to see each other at 10 a.m. Mountain Time.
That's right.
Enter the booth.com, the voiceover dynasty that we are starting, and we want you with us tomorrow, starting like the course that's going to change your life. Believe me.
That's right.
Beijo para todo mundo, kiss to everyone, and we see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Bye-bye. Let's start like to go out here on TikTok.
Yeah.
So we just like finish the live here. Bye everyone on TikTok. And like let's go out here on YouTube. All right, let's end the stream in YouTube.
Perfect.
Okay, you stream, yeah. And now we are going